we have interesting topics to discuss. Our guests are highly informed. Gambia is the homeland of peace. Let's teach the world peace. Follow Alassana Justice Diallo every other Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. For sponsors and partners, contact 369-0164 or 272-3819. Hello, the Peace Talk Show is back on the bench. We educate, advocate, and inform you on peace, security, and dangers related to violence. Every week, we have interesting topics to discuss. Our guests are highly informed. Gambia is the homeland of peace. Let's teach the world peace. Follow Alassana Justice Diallo every other Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. For sponsors and partners, contact 369-0164 or 272-3819. Hello, the Peace Talk Show is back on the bench. We educate, advocate, and inform you on peace, security, and dangers related to violence. Every week, we have interesting topics to discuss. Our guests are highly informed. Gambia is the homeland of peace. Let's teach the world peace. Follow Alassana Justice Diallo every other Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. For sponsors and partners, contact 369-0164 or 272-3819. Hello, the Peace Talk Show is back on the bench. We educate, advocate, and inform you on peace, security, and dangers related to violence. Every week, we have interesting topics to discuss. Our guests are highly informed. Gambia is the homeland of peace. Let's teach the world peace. Follow Alassana Justice Diallo every other Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. For sponsors and partners, contact 369-0164 or 272-3819.
Hello, good evening. Wherever you're watching us live online. The Fado Network, the Peace Talk Show is back on the bench. Every week, we educate you and also we inform you. Back on the bench today, a very controversial week, very busy week, and a very hot week. But also, a very interesting topic is brought for you here today. And we have very interesting icons here who actually are here to discuss with you. And then, Mr. President, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Jallo. It's a pleasure to have me here.
Thank you. The man of the people.
Thank you, Justice Jallo,
yes, sir.
for having me here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
MC, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Omar Sise, the president of the Gambia Transport Union, GTU, the man who actually has been the talk of the week. Actually, we are happy to have you here today, Mr. President. And Mr. MC, and I will be happy we go with Wolof, you know.
No, we can go, don't worry, it's fine.
Exactly, you know, we lack of Wolof, you know, Wolof, you know, it's not very clear, but basically, you know, we want to know our listeners, you know, look at you know, a guy discourse, you know. Basically, Lunyo discourse is for the general masses, so the certain group. So as far as Mr. President is here and lu one week be anga dara la nga xamne dafa disturb ku nekk in the country. So in this regard now buga suñu waxtaan bi tay mu nekk in Wolof. Even though small Wolof be certain like you know. Okay, you can speak Mandinka, right?
Yes.
But let's go. Don't worry, Wolof and Mandinka anywhere we.
Even Jola.
Seriously, I see you are president. MC, we will see that you know, come week B, the final week Muhammad the Tangon, president has declared. Was it on Saturday? Or
Friday.
On Friday that you know on Monday, you know, Gayami they will embark on strike. That will be on the 12th of September, and you know it seems like this September is a bad luck for us because in 2021 it was in 13th September that these people declared a strike, and again 12th September they declared a strike. But actually we are here to discuss on this. That is the transportation conflict, causes and solutions. What are the causes to this and solutions? Lan moo tax this transportation sector be always guided in the come like ñuy di am fofu non this conflict wala these strikes am na ñom nekkut sen ene, but what are the causes behind it? te lan mooy tax tamit or what are some of the things that could serve as solutions to this, one can say strikes coming from the Gambia Transport Union. The president is here to discuss. It simply means that the president is willing for any engagement. And MC is also here to also add his voice and his weight. And next week, we will go further to engage other policymakers also on this transport issue. Mr. President, send strike with Nakala Melt now.
No, thank you so much, Mr. Jallo, my brother MC Cham, to be in the same platform. My apology to the Gambian first and foremost. The past days, I know many people pass through a series of challenges because transport is connecting every individual's life. At the same time, it's the will of the economic. I know most of the people have been affected. But what most important is the jigalu ñep nak xamné lolu ci yéné du suñ ciobare but liggéey ak lool mo and any development amna ko fay blood price but what most important su yéné rek su concept mo am solo lu ko indil moy comme nit yi ñu ko nu ma ko léral nit ñi moy we are a pressure group we are governing some individuals like driver. No, our mandate is just to protect their welfare. So soon you see a lot of them feel that it's affecting them. You negotiate, discuss, you put pressure on those authority because we are under pressure as a leader. So that's why we shift our pressure to somebody else so that we can commit the decisions, recommendations, regulation or whatsoever. But do that. But I think we all remember naming call pressure group. So this is our function. So pour government everybody understand ko. Moyne sum mandate moyne pour ñu ar yi lef ci jabot bi. We are not a decision maker. We are not a policy maker. We can only recommend put our input give to the authorities concerned so that they can commit the regulation, the system and whatsoever. So that's why soon engage ñu gis ne muy hala low senior so we're going to put more pressure so that they can react so at the end of the day you can get something. That's all MC ñu ñoo dégg president bi lu mu wax but basically balaa ñu dem further Mr. President xëj na yeneen driver yi ñoom still now dañ nekk di observe the strike bi. What is your message to them? No, strike call off yesterday. Okay. I think around 4. Okay. Let's sign on communique with the Minister of Transport because we have that discussion with mediated by the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Talk nañ waxtaan nañ wax na lan mooy suñ coono lan mooy suñ problems ñu lan lañ si ut nag ñoo amee naka garab bi pour faj ko discuss nañ we have consensus so now we are working against that gis na lan mooy suñu problème naka la ko war a génne because we feel ne mandate government bi mooy pour aar ñu aar client yi kon ko fekkee ne ku la war a sa problème ku la war a faj soo war a jafe right now si down strike bi jeex na jeex na until jaanu ko yàlla mu am nag ba nañ xam ne is part of our mandate loolu lu waa réew mi def ko nangu na ko because I used to say this industrial action is part of democracy. Industrial action is good governance. It's constitutional right. We are calling ourselves, Gambia domain democracy. Am I right? But industrial action. Even today, the government institutions, more than you call it industrial action because we're more built of democracy. But just now, you misinterpret. But what most important, we feel that we are doing right way as far as our mandates are concerned. As far as your mandate is concerned, mbokki driver ñu nekk di seetaan programme bi wala ñu ko nekk di déglu seen président bi moo toog fii on my right hand side and moom moo wax ne yesterday 4 o'clock the strike has been called off. Loolu moo nekk ne strike bi we came in the communication. Yes. Communicate. We share with the general public, our group. I think our regional camp. Okay. Strike me. Jehna, go back to the streets and transport people like me who do not have vehicle. So from Monday to Friday, it was really tough for us. Definitely. Let me come to MC. MC, the drivers are striking. Well, I know your mom, because but MC, looking at this thing, it was very serious. Yeah, do you think the strike was genuine?
Yeah, of course, it's genuine, and I was in support of the transport union. And I think when the president of the transport unions made that announcement that they want to organize a sit-down strike, it was on Friday or Saturday. I think that the Minister of Works should have reach out to them, discuss with them, call them for dialogue before they start their sit-down strike on Monday. And I think I will somehow blame the work minister for not try to reach out to these people. Because I have already personally once spoke with Omar that the way as a union is your right. And I think it's also important for any accountability and transparency. We have protests. Because politicians, we play our parts during the campaign. We sell our agenda, our programs. Now it's high time for the unions, the activists, to try to come out to put more pressure on the government. But whatever, if empty charm call for a demonstration, they will say it's from GDC. But I think the best thing now, the transport unions, their demands is genuine for me, because everybody know that the price of fuel now in our sub-regions is now down. So why up to Gambia still now is $75, Senegal is $57. So, and we are always complaining about Ukraine and Russia war, whatever. But still now those people, their price of fuel is coming down. Why Gambia? So I think the best thing was for me, that's why I was calling for a dialogue. Let them try and sit down with these people, discuss with them. But some of the supporters of the ruling party, they were trying to label these people as foreigners. They are not Gambians. Which is not
actually helpful.
I think it's helpful. So I think some of them, they were saying that the strike was failed because some of the drivers now they are going out to the traffic with their normal business. But it's not about the small vehicles or the taxis. It's about the trucks. If you go to the ports on Monday, Tuesday, there was no truck at the port. So government lost a lot of revenue at the port.
Wow, exactly.
Yes. So, and these few drivers that we are seeing at the street during on Monday, on Tuesday, you were paying double price. When you're supposed to pay $10, you pay $20. So still now, there's still now a problem in that area. So I think the best thing what we should do as a government is not about defante. Our government is more on defante. Dumako nangu. Jammeh nangu ko won, so warulen ko nangu. So and Barrow, those people surrounded Barrow, many of them they are very arrogant. Particularly the minister.
Seriously?
Of course, particularly the state minister.
No.
Because he should have reached out to these people, talk to them, discuss with them, find a solution to them, advise them. Maybe some of their demands, they have almost 3 or 4 demands. You might even negotiate with only one. From there we start moving on to other demands. But the way he was, they were trying to bring out the boss of the GPTS boss and said, those people, the boss was here, the commercial vehicle was also here. People are struggling vehicles.
Yeah, exactly. There was serious, a vehicle shortage, and Borinho Sona, and then according to my observation, I heard from some of your interviews, Mr. President, were you engaged by the government? When you people say that come like time come like you have to embark on a strike, they come like sometimes what I have understand here is that sometimes we are very quick, then they over Gausa, to connect things to politics. And now, okay, your party being a support, and then because you now call for a strike, with you and your people is genuine. They say, UDP that they support, or like NPP that they support, or like GDC that they support. I think as a nation we should move away from this. If you call something, if you are to call for a strike, not to frustrate you, because what lu hewni fini affected only Barrow. It has affected everybody. You understand? Even you yourself, your family, it affected you. You understand? So basically, some of these things like you want to try by all means, we move away from them. Because, even when I say the flyer, some people were saying that 2 opposites are on the same platform.
No, for me, one thing, Justice, I'm a Gambian. Despite I'm a member of a political party. But I have my voice. And I have my family. Some of them, they are not even part of GDC. But I think it's not about politics. The union is different from politics. I can tell you, if at all there was an election at the union, Kande, Dabo, and Barrow is going to win at the union. Many of them, they support Barrow. I know many of the executives of the UN, the union, they are part of the Barrow for 5 years.
So basically, I think that
I don't think so. It's about politics, whatever. It's not about politics.
We should be
it's
very
their right.
serious.
If at all, as politicians, we can organize our demonstration. Why not? We can call us whatever. Let's go out. We are Gambian. We have the right to do that.
Very well.
So it's not about that we should push some people to go out while we sit down there and say, just go. If at all we want to organize demonstration, we will organize our party level. But as far as we are Gambians, whenever we see things is wrong, we have to come and say that this thing is wrong.
This thing is wrong. Mr. President, come like lead time boom hewan. They're gonna just come like send side from your own end. Government did not engage you, initially time they just say that they are going to deploy bosses, and we have seen the police boss and the GTSC bosses, And at some point, I even saw the minister statement say, it is not justifiable to increase fares when commuters, in this moment of chaos, when commuters pay multiple fares, you understand? Come like it's not fair. And was it part of your demands to increase fares?
I know today I'm trying to very frank here because a peace talker.
Yeah, exactly.
No, mune ak solution la wa.
Yes.
So mune peace talk la.
Yes, peace
So
talk.
I change my language. I change my political language.
Yes. I'll be very grateful with that, because I feel we want to check the problem critically and we try to have a solution for it, understand? And, basically, these are some of the things that can do because, I was even trying to see how best I have the minister here or the director of transport here and have the president of the transport so that we speak to the Gambian because at the end you are serving the Gambian people and he is serving. So when you engage, come like Hana guy, then engage at the force.
Ministry is our ministry. It's our life ministry. As I said before, we have a very, very, very cordial relationship with them. This is not personal. For me, work time, no friend. So because after our normal life will continue. If I am in the meetings, if I see something wrong, the more support them wrong. That is my opinion. When start a protest, we declare because all of you before the problem you declare on Friday. I'm not meeting after meeting land declare sit down strike. That was on Friday. So all you. Media,
okay, you were on the same platform, on their own platform.
Yeah. Sometimes them better say platforms. I think NC was there. Kuneka one opinion. But alhamdulillah, some genuine government do come Gambia, you come individual. This is my brother. It's my family. It's belong to GDC. But no, can blow one man party that belong to. Discuss. That is my privacy. Understand? I'm not affiliated to any political party. I'm not partisan. My constitution of the union didn't allow it. I cannot involve in politics. I cannot involve in region affairs. Because why? My members are from different areas, different categories, like politics or religion. That's why I'm not interfering. But I have a constitutional right. I have a voter's card. So some genuine Gambian call intervene def na effort waxtaan ministry wax ñu wax li xam nga ku nekk family members friends pour jàmm mën a am understand MC was advocating mooy nan toog suñu toogee rek we gonna have a solution moom always loolu la di advocate toog leen soo leen toogee ci dina am problème am na ñàkk a waxtaan moo am some individual naa leen like GCCI mit nañu waxtaan nañ ñu jëne assurance dynamic government Supreme Islamic Council mit nañu di seen veine pour ñu mit jàmm mën a am peace ambassadors, National Human Rights Commissions, Tango, CSO Tango, led by their chairman, John Charles, press union, your president was intervened. End of the day, alhamdulillah, GCI facilitated them talk na government. Mun toge that discuss la. Like am consensus, then sign an agreement, communicate. So now we are going to work on that this agreement we made for the benefit of the Gambians. Because in that meeting, masumay dem len rek mo ma fa yobu just to protect my members. Moy nagala art driver.
No.
Let me clarify here.
Okay.
It's very important. So my discussion, I have only one tax just to protect the welfare of my members.
And the government also will tell you that
not only government. Government did not owe Consumer Competition Commission. What is their role? Consumer Competition Union. What is their role? Government Police Force, what is their role? Minister of Interior, what is their role? Chamber of Commerce, Minister of Trade, Minister of Finance, any individual, defend your area. So end of the government can finalize so that for benefit of the Gambia. But I cannot go to the platform. I starting, take what he took. So that means I don't have because my large always the normal large my area. The my area tay sumay wax kuma santa wax lay wona wax ci turam. But suma boga ci kuma santa su yaké ma fen. So this is motor just now transport amna challenge. Motor if in our communicate we agree with the government. This is not the first time I will say this. Pour ñu indi that road lancing. People road lancing the program is from me because I understand it. I'm a driver for past 15 to 16 years. I travel West Africa, many African countries. But I cannot enforce it, I cannot implement it because that is not my mandate. Motomajo government just to support them. No, still in our communication, we are ready to implement. For our Gambians, our families, suma yai, suma bai, suma jabat, pour chono bu nemu dañ. but ku nekk dafa am rôle la man su ma bëggee rôle police tey I cannot do it because ku ma stop MC Jam ko alasalan si dina ma ko jox ama na Gambia but lu tax du ma ko jox because not my role so this is the problem people need to understand but what most important this discussion all stakeholders are involved so ku nekk nag yaa mën a place d'abord ba nga mën a am loo bëgga
Yeah, very well. MC, now let's start it from 2020. 2020, driver is tightening. You know, COVID-19. Understand? And then, I just know.
Suma sama na ko def suma sama na ko ndax xam nga lu ma bëgg a leeral fii bëgg nga gis ne strike lu bon la
Yeah.
dama bëgg a gambee on strike lu bon lu baax la moo tax is beauty of democracy dem ma ñeme ko def lu tax tey ñu mu ko def because of democracy lu baax la looy strike lan la mën a tey even comme institution am na ma lu tax tey health workers dem nañ si protest defuñ ko you journalist def leen fi you talk because lan la it's part of beauty of democracy bu kenn gisee lu bon la
Yeah, no, it's not good look, but what come now, I'm trying to see something here. Because consistent, it is now becoming consistent. And
suba suñ gisee lu baaxul ñu ci boobu la di leen protest
protest. But now the issue here is that I can see to it that it's like, you know, some of your demands in 2021, one of them has also reflected in 2022. Is it that, you know, Bobunon, it was not met, and the government, that is, you know, reduce the toll, you know, cost at, you know, Senegambia Bridge?
Yeah, in 2021, the toll fee, Senegal toll fee, was part of our demands. Discussed in our government, agreed in our joint government, but was not implemented.
Okay.
Before it was discussed in Hawaii, but this time, I'm not agreement, but it was not implemented.
That's fine. MC, now looking at this entire situation, you said the strike was genuine, and you know the government, you know, time when could they get force? You understand? When you talk about the government, both the public and the private sector, they are under government. You understand? The Lundega, you know, we just should not react, but we to call the stakeholders. You see, dialogue is very important. You understand?
Yeah, definitely.
We should not. Okay, even if you, I can tell you authoritatively, the greatest rebellions in this world. Actually, they are settled today. They were not settled by the powers of bullets. They were settled by the powers of dialogue and negotiation. So we should not always stay away. Come on, they have a duty. They have a duty. That is to protect the interests of the drivers. The government have a duty to protect the interests of the Gambians. You understand? Including the drivers. You understand? Always to call for a dialogue, a roundtable discussion. What are your demands? And as a government, I think, you know, we should be patient, you know, not to be very reactive, but to be welcoming and to be accommodating. You understand? Because when I feel like, you know, yaneka wajur and kuneka in the country sadomla. You understand? So yeah, if you are there, you come like sadomi, you just get up and start fighting one child. But what you do is that you call the children and you tell them, please, what is your problem? Yeah. You understand? So yeah, come like, you know, what do you think should have been, you know, government's action?
No, government action, I think they should have reached out to the union, discuss with them. Right now, we know that there is a problem. But what is the problem with the government is about their supporters. And if you look at the social media, they were saying that ignore them. As far as we have bosses, let us not reach out to them, discuss with them, because we were having discussion with the Director of Transport. They are saying that they want these people to come on board. But they don't want to reach out to them. Let them come. So we want to stop this kind of demonstrations. Whatever there is a problem, we can just solve it amicable as a family, but let us not go out to demonstrate. And I think it's important to call any kind of demonstration is important. And I think these people, we have to compliment them. Because they call for a peaceful sit down. There was no problem. They were at their house, sit down.
There was a problem?
No, that was no problem. I don't have any problem from the driver union.
Okay.
Yeah, so
people
people were struggling. People like me struggling to go out. Yeah, because that day I paid almost $600 for town trip.
Wow.
So it was a big money from Prada Estate up to Serekunda. So I think the government should proactive. They should always try to engage these people. The Minister of Works, the union is part of the Minister of Work. They are under the Minister of Works. So they should just reach out to them, discuss with them. We had that, your announcement that you want to come out on Monday for a sit-down strike. Why not we just discuss as a family? Even up to the level of even the president have a role to play as head of state. Call them, all of them, both the ministry and the union, then meet you at your office. Discuss with them. It's a national concern of everyone.
Because see,
the government is going to lose a lot of revenue.
a lot of revenue at the
And at the
crossing
same time,
point.
your own people are suffering.
Suffering.
Despite you have your own vehicles.
That is one thing that I want to ask you. You know, you've been a national figure, you've been a politician. If you were to, give just, one can say a summary of it, how has this affected the people?
Yeah, of course, because some people, you might even have a patient that you want to take into the hospitals. You are struggling. I think 90% of Gambians don't even have their own vehicles.
Very well. I am here, number one.
Yes, they always depend on these commercial vehicles.
Yes.
So I think if at all there is a sit-down strike for the drivers, it's affect everybody.
Yeah.
Our movements. Some people don't even go to work. So I think the government, particularly the president, it's not a matter of sometimes just leave everything in the hand of the technocrat. Sometimes just step in, call them on board. Let's discuss as a family. You are a Gambian, I'm a Gambian. So it is your demand. So give us few times or a few months so that we can just see how can we work as a family. But the way the minister was behaving and with his technocrats, they were not willing to call these people.
Yeah, and we should
They were not
always
willing.
try to minimize those things.
Yeah,
okay?
they were more on about Num Yaga Yaga, they will come because Gambia is hand to mouth. Everybody knows that. So all these drivers, many of them, they will have no choice.
Yeah, yeah.
They have to come out because send depends for the neka.
Yeah.
So they was sent for the neka that respect neko sinyom. So and I think that the government, what they should do, always try to reach out to the people. Whenever you had, whether the journalists or politicians want to organize demonstration, invite them on board. Let them come.
And
You want to organize demonstration, why not we just discuss it as a family? From there, we just have an agreement, we move on as a family.
But drivers say one of their requests or their demand is that, the checkpoints, should be reduced.
So you cannot, they have more than 5 or 3 demands. They cannot have all of them at once. They might even have one. From there, we start working towards another one. Because I think the fuel is very genuine. They are not fighting for only drivers. When you come to about these fuels, even the checkpoints, sometimes you delay the movements. So these fuels, they are fighting for everybody. The private vehicles, the commercial vehicles, everybody's. Because the more the fuel is increasing, people are suffering. So I think that their demand is genuine. But it's a matter of negotiations to be there. Discuss with the authorities. We move as well.
Family. Mr. President, comme soko hole ni certain demands ila negati hole ni. One of your demand was that I can remember in 2021, your demand was prices of fares to be increased. I think that was met, not so.
Yes.
And now you are now saying the price of fuel to be reduced. What is the price of fuel at the global market? Comme lan mo neka prix fuel bi si global market bi, and when you look at it in the Gambia here, why do you people think that it's reasonable? Are you people aware? Come hana dengan yeg ne come price fuel bi num mel at the global market, and maybe in the neighboring countries fuel bi numo jare fofu non, and here it's actually not balanced,
Two things are here. In 2021, we have an agreement with the government and the relevant stakeholders regarding our fare structure. We have agreed if pump price have been changed for 20%, we'll adopt the transfer fare. That time the pump price was around $52, 23 brut as a baseline. But later on, we engaged the government. Recently, the pump price have been changed for 42%.
Wow.
The agreement was 20%. Now pump price have been changed for 42%. By right, by this time, we're supposed to increase transport fare for 2 times.
Seriously?
Yes, according to the agreement. I'm talking about according to the agreement.
Agreement, okay.
We have the government and the consumer competition commission and consumers union. This was the agreement. Now we are over 42%. We engage the government, discussion with them and relevant stakeholders. If I mean discussion, not only government, including relevant stakeholders, both private and government. We discuss on that subject until we have consensus. We haven't agreed on something already, for increment of the fare. But unfortunately, it was delayed. That was happened since our agreement took place on the 26th of July. That was a little bit delayed. So we also do assessment in the world market. We understand now the crude oil starting getting down now. So instead of increasing the transport fare, let's government assume responsibility. Take burden to reduce the pump price so that we maintain the same price. So that end users, we Gambians, because we all know the current situation of this country, we all know the economic situation of this country, because everybody is affected Am I right? So we can maintain the price instead of increasing. Government can reduce the pump price so that end of the day you can at least have a little bit, adjustment. But this is our opinion. But government can finalize it, whether they can do it or not, because government have that mandate. This is the proposal for union. Only government can make this proposal, or government cannot make it, but that's left to technocrats, because I'm not an economist. But they know, but I understand in world market, the diesel starting getting down. So as end users, we supposed to benefit from this. Because always, government will tell you, you cannot determine the price, because the world market will determine the price. So if it go up, pump price go up. If come down, what do you expect?
Let it also come down.
This is that's why we are demanding this. And these are the things we have, but always we have proposals. A proposal in a sense, because this fuel issue, we never discussed with the government about it, because we understood government is very big, but our line minister is the Minister of Transport. But we understand the Minister of Transport is not part of that pricing committee on fuel, on petroleum product. So that may not happen. We can only engage ministry to government through Minister of Transport as last minister. They can forward our challenges to the other partners. Because today I cannot go to the Minister of Finance, do this. This is not my line ministry. I cannot go to the Minister of Petroleum. But according to the guidelines, I will challenge my complaint to the Minister of Transport. They will see how to find a solution or engage their partner or whatsoever. Because they are responsible just to promote the free movement, to develop transport and so on and so forth. That's why we are engaging them. So only government can come out, this demand is very good, but this and this, because of this we cannot do this. But we can do A, B, C, D. That's left to government. But this is our proposal. They are the expert, they are technical, they know what is there. They only can come out and say exactly this, but this is the demand. But we feel, as a union, be more increasing transport fare in this current situation, this economy, because according to the government, this is as of now, they cannot increase due to some reason. But we are working on losses. So these are two things that people need to value. Let me go back a little bit. We call it sit down strike. Government bring GTSC, just to what? Not, let me say, not counter, just to support Gambian. But one day, GTSC come out. What are they complaining? They are working on losses. Yes.
They complain on that. Yeah.
We all know most of average of our vehicles are less than 13. They are 13 passengers. Am I right? From the capital Westfield, is $25. 25 times 13, that is $325. How many hours are you going to spend in traffic?
Close to 3 hours.
3 hours. That 3 hours, do you expect how many fuel are going to consume? Because most of that vehicle are more than 20 to 30 years now. That's a burden. So if GTC buses have maybe their capacity 40, 50, but we all know Gambia busy buses, they don't have capacity. They will take a full capacity, people start starting in the vehicles. But still those people are complaining they are working on losses. Because that means that GTC with that statement, told the government, we are fighting very genuine costs. So these are issues involved. But only government can come and finalize. Let's increase the transport fare, what we agreed before, or reduce the pump price of the end users, our families, because government here has just to complement our effort. Government has to support Gambians, because the situation we are today, we all agree, whether we like or not, Gambia yepasora.
Exactly.
So say, so if you book a pass, we couldn't struggle them at $10, you don't know, so more new halat. But you yoka pass. So yoke koko yoka.
Ordinary
Gambians, But now, so government will board it as a government. Muanya fuel be pass from end of the day, at least we don't know our status. Only government can come munali because they know what is their quotas. Learn more about what most when you learn a lot. But the government will finalize it. We had no yoka fuel, but other because always the day one fuel be in terms of hamnane, fuel. But some of the experts are saying from Minister of Finance, wow, just like -2 + 2, that is how much? 0. Money, world market be, price be commencing to come down, but the economy, the exchange rate be commencing to go up. Like -5 + 5. So that is the narrative. But we don't know more. I'm not an expert, but I think Gambia we have many experts. They can analyze. But I already know the world market price commence to watch.
World price. Okay, so
and our neighboring countries. Let me take an example from Senegal here. How much seen government lu ñu def but tey xam nga rate bi dañ ko dee mën a analyse into two factors mooy official rate and black market rate soo checkee Sénégal in black market rate raw nañ Gambie am nañ different $18
Serious.
per litre
Wow.
soo ko jëlee official rate am nañ different $20 per litre soo jëlee official rate di nga am $55 la ñoo jaay seen fuel official rate soo fee black market la ma ñëw MC Thiam mu weccee ko di nga mën a am 57 la ñoo jaay fuel so lii is burden nu wax naa government tamit ne am na di expert in economist but xam naa in 2021 2019 2020 2021 in world market crude oil barrel dem na ba almost $1 per barrel lu ko waral dem na ba amul storage because of why due to COVID travel movement bi dafa wàññeeku woon xam nga flight yi bateau yu bari taxuloon na xam naa that time government dafa maintain seen price bi mu ngi ko maintain kon am na intervalle yu bari kon government bi man feel la government that time save na xaalis yu bari pour la te foog naa government su gisoon naa xaalis muy subsidize kon Gambia suñu price moo tax ko mën a maintain but still government moom mën naa la leeral man xam naa loolu gaz yi wàññaa fale fii wàññut léegi intervalle boobu government ñoo mën a wala xaalis boobu naka la ko mën a ji am na lu si lu ñu si soobi government ñoo wax always lu ndee bëgg a mooy ñun su ko amul jaama driver askan bi mën a am jaama because koo am jaama moo mën a may nit jaama koo amul jaama nag la mën a may ji jaama yow su ma amul jaama est ce que mën naa may jaama ma su ma mën a am moto mën naa la yóbbal liif su ma liggéey ama dépense mën naa la may dépense kon always ñun su amul jaama askan bi mën a jaama moo tax ñu wut jaama askan mën a am jaama but as I said before we are partnering government always we will try to put them in pressure so the end of the day ñun suñu problème mën a solve
Thank you very much for that. MC, I don't know. Presidents can talk too much, and he seems to be very defensive.
I think he's defending
I think he's defending these people. He's still trying to defend the drivers. And both the government will say, look, you know what? Both the drivers and the vehicles belong to the government.
Yeah, we are under them.
So, MC, looking at the demands, we see to it that, come sometimes, when these things happen, like, okay, the drivers call for a strike, and then, discussions are called, and then they discuss because, in conflict resolution, it will be told that, the conflict will go to a stage, both the antagonist and the protagonist, they will all want a dialogue, you understand, for the conflict to stop, you understand? So what do they want? They need a solution to the conflict. But now we have seen one thing, come like 2021, it happened, and one of their demand was that this thing, and again it reflected again. Is it that the government did not honor the agreements that they made with them, or actually they are trying to turn? Because I'm sure at the roundtable discussion, President Bay and his people will always try to defend their position. But they will make an agreement, and the government will also promise that, okay, we are going to work on so and so and so. Don't you think that if government does not work on their promises or the arrangements and the agreement that they made with people who actually embark on strike, this can always lead to strikes, and people will be affected always?
No, last time, I think when there was a discussion within the union and the driver, and personally I spoke to my brother, by the time it was just first few months to elections, the government, they will not allow this vote to go out for any sit-down strike. Because it's almost 3 or 4 months to elections. So whatever they will say by after elections, they will do it. Because whatever, I think they are in records. Whatever they promise governments, they don't fulfill their promise. Most of their agreement with the governments.
Basically, here I want us to focus on just the agreement.
Yes,
with strikes.
I know the agreement with the union and the government. I personally talk to my brother, tell my brother that this agreement, they will fulfill it. They just want to use you just for elections. Right now, they are also on an agreement, the same agreement. The same thing will happen again.
But, Mr. President, how so are you that this time around the agreements will be fulfilled?
I want to clarify one thing here regarding to our last agreement. We have 6 demands from government in our last proposed down strike. We can say almost 4 of them have been implemented. From governments. Like we have been calling for queuing system at the port of Banjul. Government honor was fully implemented. we agree on to provide a garage across the
car
country.
park.
As of now, I receive a 8 garage in 6 in West Coast, 2 in North Bank. At the same time, we are calling that time so that they can harmonize Africa Pacific with Senegal. That also was done.
Okay.
So this fair increment also was done. And Senegal Bridge also was done, discussion was done, but was not implemented. So just to clarify that point.
Okay. So
Always I trust
I
government.
think it's important as a government. Whatever you agree with any union or anybody, you have to respect that decisions. But right now there's an agreement. Give them few months again, you will see another sit-down strike again. So things will continue.
But don't you
So
think?
that means that you are, at every day, people will not even trust you anymore. So I think what's most important, if at all they cannot even meet all the requirements or all the demands, let them call them on again. That already we make an agreement with some of you guys, but unfortunately we cannot.
You are going back to dialogue. It means communication.
Communication.
Yeah.
We need communication.
Communication, exactly.
Yes.
That's
If
why
at all they cannot fulfill this their demands, or they can only fulfill only 1 or 2, bring them back again with this same body again, GCCI, the press union, whatever. Let them sit again and discuss with the union. That's right now our intention as a government, we want to fulfill all the promise that we make with you and the body. But unfortunately, this and this we cannot do it. But whatever we see, I think Barrow have a problem is because of the technocrats, because of the government. So I think because of the ministers. Let them see these people as Gambians in partner in development.
Yeah, I think, government, always like what we said, not to be very reactive, come darasu hewe, okay, you heard that this is actually said by MC, or this is what MC and his people want to do. And MC, by existence, he is under a ministry.
No, I'm going to look at some of them, sooner label as opposition, right? Whatever you did, they hold as opposition. And some of the supporters of the ruling party, ñoom lañ leen gis mooy kii dafa bëgg a yàq réew. Gis nga demonstration or garaw du yàq réew. Union other countries, ñii they are very good. Other countries seen garaw is too much. Gis nañ fi union bu tëj booda. Am na fi. Without government dafa ko Sénégal te seen union tëj na seen booda yi fii.
Seriously?
Waaw, during Jammeh time. It was the union, not the government. So kon nga gis ne yooyu union accountability ak transparency dafa ànd si demonstrations. Because politician dafa am fu mu em mooy nga campagne wala su jeexee léegi des mooy union si ak activistes yi ñoo war di génn some of this nga mel mi ngi xew all this corruption si ñoo war di génn di ko challenge some of the organization movements yi ñu génn but ñun as a opposition ragalun dara si réew mi we are Gambians suñu bëggee mun nañ génn def suñu demonstration or protest loolu ke mënuñu ko xañ right bu gaay am right bu leen am but soo gisee tey suñu waxee ñu ne opposition ñoo bëgg a do whatever happen in this country they will point finger to the opposition the oppositions are behind the union, behind the students or the nurses, whatever. Because it's not amut. Opposition be they are Gambians. If we organize during the presidential election, we might even call for demonstration. We believe that the election was not fair. And we have the evidence. And still now, some position still remain.
But you are good. Mr. President, during the strike, like MC was saying, you understand, it brought a lot of loss to the state, you understand? And so to me, at some point, I was feeling like your authority was undermined. In fact, as I speak to you, I'm thinking the drivers could lodge a coup d'etat to remove you.
That is left to them. I'm just a servant.
Because I have seen some drivers, who actually said, they are not part of this strike,
But, do you expect the 100% drivers are all part of the union?
And according to you, okay, you said 90% of the drivers.
No, I said 80%.
Okay.
We are targeted. We get that 80% already. So that mean we know our target. We know our strength. The whole drive. Some drivers are, even civil servants. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you expect that guy to pass by union? We all know
that's fine.
I want to clear one thing here. The comments from some individuals. We are belong to a political party. We are not Gambians or whatsoever. I, Omar Sise, as a leader, I have a very good relationship with the government. Through Minister of Transport, they have very open door policy. I used to say it everywhere. We don't have any personal issue. We see ourselves as a family. But work time, let's work. Let's work together for betterment of the Gambia. I have something doubt only government can clarify and rectify. Clarify, this is my demand. Suma government def demand escape na you. Duma you. But government can clarify, buñ toga ñom, buñ clarify rectify, ndir jew.
So now,
so what was important? Those people knew that is their opinion.
Yeah, that is
I respect their opinion.
the opinion.
But what most important, I know my union, my DJ, have now some Article 15, subsection A, therefore laterally. I cannot involve in politics, I cannot involve in religion. All as I will work na ko bam leer pour you understand.
But Mr. President, you see sometimes, drivers are very annoying. Let me put this. Come like...
How do you withdraw that story?
Okay, I withdraw it. MC, I withdraw it. Because the president is hot. Okay.
He's a defender of the
He's a defender. I understand. MC, could you imagine people like me, we don't have, vehicle. Understand? Digante Westfield to Talindeg, you pay one fare. Digante Talindeg to Latrikuda, you pay another fare. But I think, come like you also as a president, even though you are defending the welfare of the drivers, but you should also communicate to drivers through new by law because they are, how do you call it, citizens that nekk di toroxal.
xam nga su ma waxee ni du dee ñu bari. dama ne soo fekkee pass dafa nekk $10. nga yokk si $. It's an offense. according to Motor Traffic Act under section 4. pass bi $10 nga yokk si $. si sa bopp. ñu ne fii ba roundabout bi 10 la nga def 11 da nga yaaxal loi réew mi loi réew mi nag man nekkuma maa ko war a enforce nekkuma maa ko war a implement that is very clear ñëpp Gambie ñëpp war nañoo xam lii ba tey driver bu efflé mën a taboo laa yem bal loi la yaaxa si réew mi yaaxul benn loi so always ma waxee nit ñi but how always dama moo tax may wax ne always my advocate let's try to bring the system in place. Only law can govern people. Only system can govern people. Sa programme lu mu neexee nii lu mu am solo nii su time jëlee da nga koy dog.
Exactly.
Because you have system in place. The transport loolu moo laag. Xam nga dama lay wax ne the previous administration up to now transport was da nga ko put on the carpet. We don't have political will. Because right now, government they want to pass it, transport we have only Motor Traffic Act, only Motor Traffic Regulation, no Transport Act, no Transport Regulation, no Department of Transport. This is a very big disaster. Favorable because most of the Gambian people, 95% of them are traveling through commercial transport. Government is losing millions of dollars daily basis. Because they go to the office, official time, job or start.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Go to office by 8 o'clock. Nyata dinge fe office bi. 0.0. Go to office by 3:30. Nyep watch nañ. Du sen ciobare. Because why am na lu nekk sax moo tax government need to work on this. To see naka la mën a promote free movement. Su ko promote economy of Gambia dina ko boss. Nit ñi am jama, nit ñi mën a liggéey accordingly. But this is lacking. Moo tax always I advocate this. Let's government try to bring a Department of Transport. Not directory. Directory is your director. But we are talking about department with different directors. So that these accidents, these challenges, this road blockage, they will come into consideration. Because what most important, you bring expertise. They do the survey assessment. We move forward. So always really advocate government bring you defco. I think you go there. I'll compliment them. The 22 man create a director of transport. Lord, achievement la. Amuton.
Okay.
Amutan, you got a full ministry, you don't bring any driver of transport. But alhamdulillah, guess now this 2020 what did now. But right now, what we are advocating for Department of Transport. We are going transport regulation. End of the day, do Monday. Me and your MC, you make sure input a Gambians. End of the day, that law when you come. The police take their law. At the same time, the Gambia police force, I would say this: the traffic is not a dumping site. When they come here, it's a very noble cause. It needs expertise and technocrats. Traffic is a noble cause. No, you need to study the traffic. How to manage, how to control it. But no, you cannot go and say, no, that's you are making congestion. These are lacking. We need a proper structure, proper management, proper training for our civil servants. So at the end of the day, I'm Jama, limit this position I am today. It's just a few times. But now, man, my family, man, the rest of them,
exactly.
So this is not, but one more simple, let's bring the system. I will say this, I'm on record. I'm ready to commit my executive to work on the system. I'm on record. Pour ñu jëna docteur yi pass jëna pour ñu aw record pour ñu tay bring the best system on defena le plein le ngam moy trafic ñu am jama ki am jama gam dem kanam because tay pass bi tel la but you spend more than 100 dollars nga yak fu nga jëm so let's bring system I just pass to nga am final destination nga am jama nit yi am jama this is my halat because halala but could def transport in 16 years as a driver. Them 9 countries West Africa. I'm a vice chairman West Africa Transport Federation. I'm a vice chairman. I'm part of the IITF, International Transport Federation. I'm part of ILO. Kon suma xam transport kon suma xam newi na. But what am I we know what's happening, but we want to come together, put our ideas together, put our mind together. Because transport, end of the day, doing to them. It's the wheel of the economy. So, whether we like or not. Look at these days. You know, Gambia government, the Gambian people, our individual, how many millions have we lost? Go to Senegal Bridge. Over 2,000 people, they are parking for 2 weeks. They don't move inch. Go to port. This is not good for the country. That's why always we are calling for dialogue and say, leader if in Bahut, warmer, Linga Boga Bahut, Limo Bah. I'm a perfect human being. I have 5 common sense. But please speak, Alhamdulillah, I will thank my ministry again. Come peace talk, Jambarlan, talk Alhamdulillah.
We are happy to hear that, I can remember yesterday, when you were there having to talk, I was also in touch with them, to see how best I get someone from the ministry there. Probably we have that tete here, but unfortunately, it would have been, nice. But thank God, the discussion is going fine. MC, come like Mr. President Nekari Wahni, as a society, as a country, come when people bring their issues, I think, we need to put a national lens, not party lens, understand? Try to see that, okay, MC Cham, it's GDC, the mom is going to be an opposition. Looking at opposition, I believe that opposition is not a bad person. You serve as a watchdog in the society or in the country to make sure to remind the duty that you as a government, you are here. You are not perfect. Even myself, I'm not perfect. I am here to watch you. Your good steps, I say thank you. Your bad steps, I tell you, I am watching. Don't go. And if you go astray by, refusing to listen to my call, then I will tell the people that, you see, he has left the path and I'm engaging him, he is still ignoring. It seems like he doesn't have us in that. I think, this is what is opposition all about.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
So basically, they're going to drive it is something that, others say it's genuine, others say it is not genuine, but to the drivers, it's genuine. And now we have seen that, at the end, a compromise is made. Gambia is seen. Yesterday, discussion was made. If the discussion was done on on Saturday, even though, maybe it was not a working day, it was said on Friday, not so.
It was Saturday, yeah? Friday.
It was said
we declare on Friday.
Okay.
Friday,
so,
okay.
hadn't been that, discussion was made even on Saturday or on Sunday even, an emergency discussion. I'm sure all this would have happened.
Of course, of course.
So many difficulties.
Yeah, they should have just called for emergency meeting, just discuss with the union and the minister. And I think, like what you say, our problem is about politics. Anything that people would say that politicians are behind, oppositions are behind the movements. And I think that's very wrong, very, very wrong. Because personally, I was supporting the move of the union without reach out to them. But I feel like their sit down is genuine. They are not only helping for only drivers. It's for everybody, including the private vehicles. So I think right now, as far as there is a dialogue within the union and the minister, what I'm advising them, let them make sure all their demands, if at all they cannot fulfill all of them, let them reach out to them again. Communication with them. They have diet of works. But you cannot create a ministry or positions, but you need to support that individual, give them the power, the support that he needs. Because we see many people have been given a lot of responsibility, but they are even motivated, they are even supporting them. So I think what they need to do, that's why I say, even the government, they should try to change the National Assembly, the setup of National Assembly, the way they nominate these MPs. These people should have one representative at the Assembly. Like other countries in Senegal, the union, they have one representative at the Assembly. Whenever they make any decision-making body, they will be part of it. Even some of the ministry, the Minister of Work, the transport unions, some of them, they have their expert in that area. Why don't we employ them? Let them be a part of the diet of works, whatever. They should be part of the decision-making body. So that whatever they are decided, they will not even call them at the last minute that now we have agreed this and this. Because the way Omar is doing it, Omar knows a lot of things. If I told you nominate Omar at the Assembly, he might even help the minister. But that's why when some of them, the way they nominate these people, it's just like he's my friend or he's party supporters. But each area try to nominate one individual there.
now the effect of those selections actually are having, because I think like what you've been saying, these are some of the things that needs to be done, to choose people from different expertise.
Yeah.
Those that are not represented, because this is what I normally tell the policy makers. You sometimes are put in a committee where you don't have any expertise, and you are supposed to go and monitor or observe. You just go and make an observation of baseline, and you do not have that in-depth knowledge.
Yeah,
or
definitely.
That critical knowledge in that area.
Yeah,
So basically, at some point, you just keep on saying, it is fine, and that that is fine, it becomes something that will affect you.
Yeah, right now, Lulu, that's the problem. Gambia, we are in
but
a
MC,
democracy.
as the time is going now, Mbokai, you are watching the Peace Talk Show. This is the weekly program that is brought to you to discuss on issues around us. It's almost 5 minutes.
After 5 now.
Yes, it's 5 minutes to the time. In fact, we are about to wrap up. But basically, then remind, this is the Peace Talk Show, the weekly program that we bring to discuss on issues surrounding our national peace and security. Kutok Fite Moneka, President Gambia Transport. In fact, I'm sitting with 2 presidents. President Gambia Transport Union. How do you call it again? At a very hard place, strike. And it has been a very tough week, but alhamdulillah, and this is what we call the beauty of democracy. There was no fighting, there was no insulting, it was all settled on the table. It would have been better actually if they sat at the table to discuss even before Monday. This is the beauty of democracy that we are saying, the new Gambia that we are saying. And also, we have the national president, or national youth president, GDC, FC Chav, Momtabaji is also here, not as, member of GDC, but as a concerned youth who actually also has come here to give his contribution. You see, we always need to widen our lens. Let's not narrow ourselves. Let's not narrow our lenses to party level. To see MC as whatever he says is GDC. And whatever MC is also saying, if it is not something from GDC, he does not recognize the goodness of it. Yeah. No. Let's move away from that. At a certain level, let's see the country. And this is why the country is affected. The president is here. Others say that, this is party motivated. But if it is party motivated, Mr. President, you have a duty to the Gambian people here. That know that whatever you do will affect you and it will affect your family. But others who are also saying that this is party motivated, are we honest to ourselves? Let's not try to characterize or polarize things, when we just see them. Let's always appreciate, accommodate, and welcome people on dialogue. I can see the ministry or the union was ready for dialogue. The ministry was also ready for dialogue, but who was going to begin the communication? Let's always try to create those rooms for dialogues and communication. It will be always important. Today, the dialogue has, the strike has been called off. Normalcy has returned. Yesterday. Yeah, exactly. Yesterday, the strike has been called off, and normalcy has now returned to the traffic. That is the beauty. So basically, we are appealing to people, government authorities, private sector, how do you call it, non-governmental organizations. When we have issues, let's always try to make sure that we communicate. With communication, we can settle our issues amicably. Mr. President, what is the way forward now, with you people now?
No, we already have a way forward, because we discuss with the government, mediated by Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We have reached a consensus, so we work on that. We have a timeline. So we're going to set up a committee and look into those demands and find a way out how to solve it so that we can harm the government, can harm the government people. So right now, we're going to work on that. So
those ones are solutions that you are satisfied with?
Yeah, because I trust the government. I really trust them because they are our authorities. They really solve our problems. They are here for that. So I really trust them. I don't have any mind on any doubt on that.
MC, what do you think is the way forward?
I think the way forward,
sustainable solution.
The way forward is still now, let us try to engage both of them, let chain of communications, their demands, whatever is the outcome, let them try to communicate to the union through the Ministry of Works. And I think
even they agree, they're going to set up a committee.
Yeah, committee. Yeah. So if there is a committee, and also I think it's important they have their own committees. From now they work towards the demands, some of their demands, and I think that's the way forward. We also need dialogue.
No, not some of our demands, all of our demands.
All of our demands. I know government will not. They will not.
They will fulfill it.
I know personally they will not fulfill all
I'll convince them.
I know.
I'll convince them.
I know the government. No. I know our government. Today, just to say, let me not involve anything about politics.
MC, let's conclude.
Because Modu know me very well.
MC, let's conclude. This is
So,
the Peace Talk Show. Yes.
So anything, thank you very much, Justice. We are hopeful, as what the president said. He believes the government that they will fulfill some of these demands, or all of them. Like what he say, all of them. But me, I say some of them, because I know my government. So, but it's fine. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MC Cham, the National Youth President, GDC, and President. Indeed, I never knew him as president, but this week he is really a president, making headlines nationally and internationally. That the president of Gambia Teachers Transport Union has actually declared a strike, and drivers 80% have honored it. Mr. President, we thank you for calling off the strike. Drivers go back to the streets and transport us peacefully. We thank you for coming, and we thank MC for coming, and Modu, our able technician, we thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
very much.
The Bench. We educate, advocate, and inform you on peace, security, and dangers related to violence. Every week, we have interesting topics to discuss. Our guests are highly informed. Gambia is the homeland of peace. Let's teach the world peace. Follow Alassana Justice Diallo every other Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. For sponsors and partners, contact 369-0164 or 272